in many ways, but there were a lot of people touting the kind of federalism on display, which is to say lack of a national guidelines for a while, allowing states to go. Then today he seemed to do a 180 and basically said, no, it's not really up to the states when to quote unquote reopen, which itself is unclear. It's not a ribbon cutting, right? He had this to say at the press conference. I wanted to get your response to it about his authority in this matter. Take a listen.
The president of the United States has the authority to do what the president has the authority to do, which is very powerful. The president of the United States calls the shots. They can't do anything without the approval of the president of the United States.
Is that true? Is that your understanding of how this works?
No, that is not true. I don't know why the president said it. I don't know why he would take us down this path, because it's the exact opposite of everything he's been trying to say, right? He did his opening video saying bipartisan. Here, he had me in the video and Democratic governors. He's bipartisan. Then he winds up saying, I have total authority, which is not true. It's not legal. It's a total abrogation of the Constitution. 10th Amendment specifically says powers to the states. Alexander Hamilton, all the founding fathers talked about the power of the states and how repugnant it would be for a federal head to say that they have eminent authority. The Constitution says we don't have a king. To say I have total authority over the country because I'm the president, it's absolute. That is a king. We didn't have a king. We didn't have King George Washington. We had President George Washington. And why he would want to say that after initially, when he did the quote-unquote close down of the government, he never did the close down. He wants to say the travel ban with China was a close down. It wasn't. It was a travel ban with China. The close down was left to the governors to do individually, state by state. We have a whole quilt of different close down strategies because you left it to the governors. Now the reopen should be total authority after you just talked about bipartisanship. That makes no sense.
Well, it seems to me that the sort of nightmare scenario from a policy perspective, to go back to what you said in the first answer, is some sort of edict from the White House that everybody's got to open back up, when that would be dangerous from a public health perspective, although it's also unclear whether that would be in any way enforceable other than just messaging.
Well, it would be, look, if he said, if he tried an edict from the White House that put the people of the state of New York in jeopardy or violated what I thought was in their best interest from a public health point of view, we would just be off to a lawsuit. And that's the only way this really horrendous situation could get worse, is if you now see a war between the federal government and the states. And why he would even go there, I have no idea.
Let me ask you a final question about, because this sort of relates